Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. We've got some of our first FC26 leaks and our first Player of the Month vote going on right now for content that we'll see soon in FC26. And a couple of these cards that we're going to look at today look like great early game SBC candidates, especially for the price. Today, guys, we're talking about POTMs because they're some of the first SBCs we're going to get in FC26. And we will discuss a little bit of FC25 because we should be getting SP today, and that's very important. We also have some new 99 rated leaked transfer cards that could be coming soon on that game still as well. But guys, if you're excited for FC26, like we all are, drop a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you are new. That's where we're going to start things today, talking about what's upcoming with FC26 and this news of Player of the Month voting. I'm going to drop the link to this page down into the description of the video because it's going to be a page that we look at throughout the year of FC26 because this is where we will vote for all of our Player of the Months that we get the chance to vote on. You can see all the leagues listed right here. Some of them still have the winners from last year still posted, but as you notice with La Liga, we have nominees and it says live. Guys, we can vote for our first Player of the Month of FC26, which is La Liga. We've got Lamine Yamal, Mbappe, Nico Williams, Pere Milla, and Nicolas Pepe. And as you look at these Player of the Months, always notice who has the most goals and assists and take into account where that player's club is in the team standings in the table. Because when you look at Mbappe and Lamine Yamal, they have more goals and assists than anybody else. Nicolas Pepe does have 3 contributions himself, but Mbappe has 3 goals, so I would rate him above Nicolas Pepe. And then Lamine Yamal has 4 contributions. I would have to say between Mbappe and Lamine, it's probably one of those two that is winning this award. But before you get too excited and think about, oh my gosh, there's going to be a crazy SBC for these guys right away at the start of FC26, no. Because the fine print text below this says everything. The Player of the Month winner of this campaign will not receive a special in-game item in FC26 Ultimate Team. This isn't, I think, just because Mbappe and Lamine Yamal are in there. It actually happened last year as well. Rafinha was the August Player of the Month winner. He never got an SBC last year. He had one a couple weeks later as a part of the Trailblazers promo, if you guys remember that. That was a pretty legendary card, a very completed SBC for sure. But he did not get an SBC. So the reason that this is here, I think, is just because this vote is happening first. The August Player of the Month for La Liga, if this vote is out, is probably going to be announced next week. And I guess EA deems that too early to release an SBC, or they just don't want to release too many of the SBCs. Doesn't really make sense, though, because this is La Liga EA Sports. However, there is a bit of memories that we have with this sentence right here, because there was a time literally 1 year ago on this exact same page for a Player of the Month vote that EA said the winner of that campaign was not going to receive a item in FC25, and they did. Enter Marcus Thuram. Some of you may remember, some of you may not, but right away when I saw that message, I thought directly back to last year, because with the Serie A Player of the Month vote last year for August of FC25, Thuram was in it and won, and below that vote, it said that they were not going to get an SBC, yet we still got an SBC, and we're thankful we did because that was one of the best early game SBCs on FC25. So I feel like it's a probably 90 or 95% chance that we won't get an SBC for whoever wins this award, but it is worth mentioning that last year EA didn't even listen to their own words on the website and still dropped an SBC. Now, where it really gets interesting is an SBC that we should be getting, and that is for the Premier League Player of the Month. There have been some legendary Premier League Player of the Month SBCs to start off a new Ultimate Team cycle. We're going to look at a couple of those today, and with these names as nominees, we got a chance at a really good SBC coming soon. Now, the voting is not out for this, but we will use the same exact page. It'll be right here on this homepage screen here. This Premier League button will light up. You'll be able to view the nominees and vote there. So that's why I'm going to drop this down below in the description. This should be in a couple of days' time that this actually gets started. But Szoboszlai, Guehi, Ekitike, Haaland, Grealish, Pedro, Semenyo, and Calafiori are all nominees for the Premier League Player of the Month for August. So the answer to the question of will we get an SBC for this is yes, we will be getting an SBC for this Prem Player of the Month. because we always do. Guys, take a look back at FC25. Remember this very expensive Erling Haaland? He got a +1 overall, which is something to consider and think about as we get these Player of the Months. I doubt they're going to be crazy big boosts. Sometimes we see bigger stat boosts on Player of the Months and informs later on in the year, but at the start, probably not getting anything super crazy over a regular +1 inform upgrade. But this card, yeah, it was a big one, and it was a Haaland. And a lot of people crafted this SBC over the time that it was out because it was a 92 rated Haaland card, and, maybe they wanted to use him, and they could use him for a while, but it was expensive. Also, this was one of those weird SBCs where you had to complete 2 SBCs, but his card was actually in objectives. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'll be curious to know if EA does anything along those lines at the start of FC26 like they did at FC25. But as you can see here, who's got the fodder for an expensive SBC like this at the start of the game? Not very many people, because at that point, 84s, 5s, and 6s, and especially as you look at this, you needed 86 and 87 rated squads for some of these SBCs. Who's got that fodder at the start of the game? Like an 86 rated squad, those are a lot of the players you're using in your starting 11. So as we take a look at the nominees for this year's August Player of the Month, I kind of hope that Haaland doesn't win. Even though it could be a really good card, I'm kind of hoping that Joao Pedro wins. And I think Joao Pedro is actually the front runner. If I had to guess who would win this award, I would have to go between Joao Pedro, Grealish, and Haaland. Ekitike maybe is up there with those guys, but I think it's between Haaland with 3 goals, Grealish with 4 assists, and the story of Everton, right? And then Joao Pedro and the nice start that Chelsea have had, and of course his nice start as well with 2 goals and 2 assists. That's my take. Joao Pedro is going to win this, but it's going to be close between him and Grealish, and then Haaland's in there as well. That's just my opinion. We will have to see. But with the Joao Pedro and Grealish actually in mind for potential winners of this SBC, we could be seeing some very good early game cheap beast Player of the Months on hand here, because Joao Pedro is a 79 rated card. His in-game stats look pretty decent. He's got striker and cam position. He's 4-star, 4-star. I think he only has one playstyle base, which is rapid. I might be wrong on that. I have to check the database. But you think about a Joao Pedro here, he's probably not going to be 85 rated like this graphic shows. What does this graphic show? This one shows 82, probably going to be an 82, because a +1 upgrade or an inform upgrade on a 79 rated card usually takes them up +3 to an 82, I believe. Kind of have to do that early game inform math again to know how much of a boost he's going to get. But like, look at that card, 4-star, 4-star. Give him a couple of play styles. He's got low 80s shooting and pace and 84 dribbling. And again, the links that he has, we talked about maybe a few more playstyles. It doesn't look like an insane card, but like that's an SBC that could be 20, 30,000 coins, maybe like 35 to 40K. And that would be worth doing because you could put that together really easily, and that'd be a great value card to put on your team. Now, let's say Joao Pedro doesn't win and Grealish wins, maybe not as usable on the wing, but that's still a pretty high dribbling stat. Grealish has a playstyle plus. It's possible that he could win this as well. If Ekitike were to win, that would end up being a bit more of an expensive SBC. But I really think, guys, that if Joao Pedro wins this, we have the best chance of getting a pretty solid SBC, and EA could boost him up a little bit more than just to 81 shooting and 81 pace. It could be a bit more than that. We'd have to see. Now, it could be, maybe not quite, but close to some of those early game insane Play of the Month SBCs that we've had in the past couple of years. Real ones remember this Lucas Moura. Yeah, sure. The Joao Pedro's not going to be as good as this card is, or whatever SBC we get, like 94 pace, 89 dribbling. What was EA thinking dropping this card at that early stage? They gave him a huge boost, +9 shooting, 2 pace, 4 dribble, 8 pass. Like, that's insane. I can't believe that EA still did this one. That's probably one of the most legendary Player of the Month SBCs ever in the first month of the game. But even 2 years ago in FC24, we had a really good James Maddison for 60,000 coins for a center mid / cam with a playstyle plus and good playstyles there. Both of those Spurs cards, we love that. There's been a couple of other good Player of the Month SBCs in the early game too, but this one has potential. I know a lot of people really want Szoboszlai to win, but guys, just to be honest, like Szoboszlai has the 1 free kick goal. Yes, he's played great and has a lot of man of the match performances, but like we said before, when it comes down to these awards, it almost always comes down to the goals and the assists. So that is just something I wanted to mention there, but this has potential to be a really good starter SBC scenario here, especially for Joao Pedro or Grealish, depending on who ends up winning this, because it could be very cheap. So that's honestly something that I'm really looking forward to. It will be leaked who wins, so the voting will come out, and then actually right after the voting ends, I bet we will see a couple of leak tweets. That SBC should be scheduled to drop somewhere around the first full week of content, like in between the early access release, since we've been talking about calendars and dates a lot recently, since or after the early access, the 19th, between then and the 26th, somewhere around there, we should be getting the Premier League Player of the Month, I do believe. Maybe even a little bit towards the earlier side of that there. So that is actually big news because we could have ourselves a great starter SBC on our hands. Now, other FC26 news that we have out there at the moment, trying to kind of changing gears here. We don't really have much. EA tweeted yesterday, I first look at Alexander Isak in FC26 as a Liverpool player, right? A lot of people are excited about that. Of course, he's an 88 rated card with Finesse Plus, got a big pace downgrade, but he's going to be Liverpool, and that is how he looks in game in the tunnel there. Yeah, he's going to be an expensive card. He's got a lot of hype around him for sure, but that was about it. We're still waiting. EA, come on, man. Anything. We're jonesing for some information right now. Even just stuff that we might already know about. Just confirm it, right? If they start releasing the ratings for the icons, or even start like the top 50 or top 10 ratings of gold cards, that would confirm the database that we have and let us know that, okay, what we're looking at is actually close or right on. So any information, EA, it's about time, man. I know it's only September 4th, and we're, again, jonesing for FC26 info. We're just ready to be there. But, like, man, just anything, man. We're ready for it. So that's the Player of the Month news right now, and I just wanted to take a good while and talk about that because Player of the Month SBCs, you see this tweet, 1.4 million views from Foot Sheriff. This is a legit piece of hype information, guys. I know it doesn't hit that crazy right now. It's just kind of like, oh, it's a leak, there's a voting, but, like, this could be good. It could be really good. Now, let's turn the page backwards to a little bit of FC25 information. Yesterday, I randomly had my most expensive tradable pack pull of the year. We packed R9 from sending coins in the store packs. We got 3 mil coins more, then completely burned them all. But what's exciting about today's content on the game is more SP, and that should be dropping, I think, at the content drop today. We should be seeing more SP. We're in objectives here or close to it, so let's talk about that first. This means the new seasonal manager, player, and clubs objectives will refresh there. And in the seasonal tab, we'll have a new daily objectives and weekly objectives here, which will help massively to get ourselves closer and closer to level 40 and truly finishing off FC25. Now, I do want to take a look really quick at some SBCs and the EVO that was dropped yesterday. They dropped a Due, 97 rated, road to the final card yesterday, 15 squads. Kind of funny that this Due, if you take a look at his card, right? Only 3 playstyle pluses. It's a collector's card for sure, and it's the dynamic that makes that card super emotional. He's 15 squads. Mohamed Salah's 99, since EA know they've given out all the 99s already. He's 3 squads. He is very, very cheap to do, 192K. So if you don't have Salah yet, you can go ahead and get him there. Or if you want to collect that Due, go ahead and get him there as well. We did have a new 99 rated Evo that was dropped yesterday. I'm not doing Evos anymore, I can't lie. I finished all of them that I wanted to do. I don't want to pay 200K for Evos. I really don't want to pay 100K either. But we did have an Evo that allows us to put 5 Playstyle Plus players into an Evo. So that's actually kind of nice. I know some people out there are very happy for that one. The Playstyle Pluses for this one are really weird because it gives it to you at the very end, which is very odd. But you do get a 99 passing boost here and some really big stat boost in some other areas. So it is a decent Evo, but it's 100,000 coins there. And then again, we mentioned the SP. That is a pretty big ordeal heading into content drop time today. Last thing, FC25 related, is we've got a couple of 99 rated coming as SBC cards here. ASY Foot Traders leaking Gittins. Of course, he was Bino Gittins. Now he's Gittins in game. The new transfer to Chelsea. He is getting a 99 rated card. Finesse, Trivella, Tiki Taka Technical, and Quick Step with 299 stats, 98 shooting, 97 passing. So he's coming as an SBC. And I think these leaks here are referencing content that's going to come out on Friday, guys. Maybe a couple of them could be today, but I'm going to guess that most of these cards are related to the content for this next week. If you're a Manchester United fan, Mateus Cunha is getting himself a 99 rated. He's got rapid, finesse, power shot, technical, and first touch with, again, 299 rated stats for his card as well. And lastly, Liverpool fans rejoice again. A Liverpool Frimpong. Liverpong? That's a new one. Liverpool Frimpong with 91 physical, 99 dribble, and 99 pace. 5 playstyle pluses, including Anticipate, Whipped, Technical, Jockey, and Quick Step. There you go for Jeremy Frimpong, Liverpool fans. Liverpong. I'm not going to let that one down. Yeah, guys, so that's probably stuff that's coming out tomorrow. Don't know what EA is going to do tomorrow other than that. Really, it's, for me, like all eyes on FC26 stuff, man. Really, really is. Once I finish the season pass, because I've finished all my other FC26 objectives, we are there. I know we've been talking a lot about FC26 already. That's where a lot of the hype is for sure. And that's why I wanted to cover the Player of the Month stuff first. So make sure you click this link that is down below in the description. Maybe bookmark it, maybe save it for future Player of the Months, because it will be very helpful information, as we will have some, hopefully, Player of the Month hype stirring the pot soon in FC26. If you enjoyed this video, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. Come to the stream today. We'll see if anything new comes out. We'll see if EA have any information for us as we go one day closer to FC26. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you guys in video and a stream today. Peace out.